Haile Mary, friends. So someone wrote to me and asked a question I thought would be a really good idea for a video so I could address this. For people that are worshiping different gods, and for people that wonder, how do we worship different deities? Do any of them become jealous that we are not particularly focused on one rather than the other? So someone wrote this to me, and I have some notes, so you're going to see me looking down, but it's to help get a clearer thought on what I want to say. So the question that someone wrote to me, they said, how can we maintain a close relationship with multiple deities, especially when you have a close relationship with one deity that you don't think matches the other? How can you give them all equal time and devotion? So this is going to be a Hellenic view to answer this question, so not every belief system will fit into what I'm going to tell you. But the Hellenic view is that to think, first off, is that you got to clear your head of what you think the gods are. And because of Greek myths in particular, we see gods as jealous, as rapists, as angry, as full of lust, like lustful. So the truth of the matter is, like, once again, in the Hellenic view, is that the gods are good, period. That they have no anger towards anyone or anything, that they're pure good. And we can find the answer. So to say that means that a god will not get jealous of you worshiping another god. They won't get jealous of you paying more attention to Hermes instead of paying attention to Athena. There is no jealousy in the gods. And how we know that is we can look back to some ancient writings from Sallustius. So Sallustius has some work you can look up online for free. I may put a link to it in the box, the description for the YouTube video here. But he talks about this, and he says, and it's kind of lengthy, but it's free and it's good to read. So he says on it, he says, they ought to know that the common conceptions are those to which all men agree as soon as they are asked. For instance, the gods are good, free from passion and free from change. For whatever changes does if they do it for the worse or better, if it's worse, it makes them bad. They're made bad. But if they change for the better, then they must have been bad to begin with. So that basically saying that the gods don't change, the gods do not get angry. And he goes on and talks about it a little more. He says, if anyone thinks the doctrine of the unchangeableness of the gods is reasonable and true, then wonder how it is that they rejoice in the good and reject the bad. The answer is as follows. The gods do not rejoice, for that which rejoices also grieves, nor are they angered, for to be angry is to be filled with passion, and nor are they appeased by gifts. If they were, they would be conquered by pleasure. So Sallustius says that the gods do not get angry. So that should help alleviate some fears or concerns about you paying attention to certain gods over others. So that is a good way to look at it. The gods are happy. They're continuously, I've read in a book that they're continuously in a place of peace and joy, that they don't get angry. That is anger, extremes like lust, anger, vengeance. Those are mortal failures. So to say that means that I'm just saying that they won't be angry at you for neglection, for any other reason. So here's a little bit more of Sallustius further down in the book, that he, in his words, he says, the truth is simply that when we are good, we are joined to the gods. By our likeness to live accordingly to the virtue, we cling to the gods. When we are evil, we make ourselves enemies to the gods. Not because they are angered at us, but because our actions prevent the light of the gods from shining on us. So this goes more into another thing you'll probably hear about if you study Hellenism or anything with Hellenic polytheism, is miasma, talking about some of the actions you do will sometimes, it doesn't get the gods angry, but it can kind of cause a pollution that makes it harder to connect to the gods. So it's just basically saying that anything that you do will not make the gods angry at you. So you can get rid of the idea that the gods are mad at you. Cilicia says that they do not get mad. So, and if you feel a disconnect from the gods, it is because it could be miasma, or it could be a headspace. It could be your train of thinking. The way you're thinking could be causing a pollution in that needs to be cleared, that you need to start thinking more positively. Because when you connect to the positive, when you're happy, you get more in line with the God's nature, the nature of the gods and what they truly are. So, so once again, this is all the Greek view of it, but yeah, the gods will not be angry at you. And they're not sitting around waiting for you to burn that incense to give them their time, because they need nothing. They don't need anything from you. They don't benefit from anything we do. We benefit from sacrifice and giving, and we are the ones who benefit. And that's what he says next that I'm going to read on here. It says, by praise and sacrifice we turn towards the divine, and we heal our own badness, so we can again enjoy the goodness of the gods. So why do we pray? Why do we sacrifice? It says the divine itself is without need, and the worship is for our own benefit. From these things the gods gain nothing, and what gain could there be to a god? It is we who gain through communion with them. I mean, they have everything. They have everything they need, so whatever we sacrifice, it is not to make them happy, it's not to appease them. It is for our benefit to thank them. We do it to thank the gods and to tell them how thankful how thankful we are for everything we have. So that answers hopefully the question. Once again, this is the Hellenic view, the Greek view of the gods, that they won't be angry at you, that they're not worried and waiting for that wine or whatever you want to give them. And to do it is just to honor them, and that we benefit. So you just got to change the way you see the gods. And so how to maintain a close relationship with multiple deities, especially when you have a close relationship with a deity that you don't think matches the other. Once again, they won't be angry about you choosing to worship whoever you want to. They don't have anger. They don't have jealousy. And how can you give enough equal time and devotion? You devote yourself and your time to the ones that you want to. I'm not going to use the term called to or whatever. That's a whole controversy in itself. So whoever you want to devote your time to, like I said, Zeus won't be jealous of Hermes because you're praying to Hermes all the time, and so on. Put God A jealous and mad at you for worshiping God Z. So I hope that clears that up, and I just wanted to do this video that the gods will not be mad or jealous. You can worship in your own time. They're not sitting around waiting for it, because it's us that benefits, because they will wait for you, and you just gotta get in that right headspace. And if you have a disconnect, it's not because you're not doing it enough, really. You just gotta get that, maybe clear some of that negativity off of you, some of that miasma, and just work, and you just get that, shake it off of thinking that you're not going to be able to connect. So anyway, guys, I hope that answers your question, and I'll talk to you later.